Hi everyone, welcome back to the Pentagon Challenge. I am sorry it's been so long. I had not intended to have a 4 to 5 week break since the last episode. Basically, between me getting ready to record a new episode and then actually recording the episode, my laptop charger decided to pack in, so I was basically without a laptop for about 7 to 10 days. And then since then, I've got it back. It's been working fine. But then I've just not actually had the time to record an episode for the last week or two while I've been trying to get everything ready for said episodes. But we're back. We're here. We've got a game against Helsingborgs, potentially a game against Falkenbergs as well, depending on how long it takes us to get through everything because we have so much to catch up on. We've got a transfer window. We've got a run of games, including a cup run, which is going to see us playing in the Svenska final in about 3 to 4 weeks. I think we just get cracking. Let's go. So I think we'll just get started with schedule first. So we had our Svenska Cupen games in the group, which as you can see, we walked quite easily. We then got through to the final after beating Hammarby 1-0 in the semi-final extra time. Courtesy of a 100th minute goal from Cameron Congreve after we had been down to 10 men halfway through the second half. So we did really, really well with that one. You'll see a few unfamiliar names and we'll get onto the transfers very, very soon, but you'll see one very familiar name down in the most recent game against AIK. But we have gone on a unbeaten start to the season in our first 7 games, I think it is. And that leaves us playing Helsingborgs at the moment. It's a bit of a derby game really in Sweden. We are looking to try and cement our place at the top, where it's us and Jigerdens basically who are leading the way. And we will be playing IFK Nürköping, I believe, in the final of the Kupen Cup, Cup, on the 25th of May, and that should see us then quite nicely into June, and then in July we'll start having our Champions League games coming through. Now, we've got a lot to catch up on because, like I said, I had unintentionally missed the last 4 to 5 weeks. If you've watched the latest Everton episodes, you will see that we did our own kits for that one, regardless of whether we like them or not. I'm still not convinced, but it was just worth a dabble. We also did the same for Malmö. So we did our own little kits for these, basing kind of around a few themes. So looking through history, they've always seemed to have had a red and white away kit at some point. We did a dark blue home kit similar to what we had last season, but we put a little bit of a yellow gold trim on, just a little bit of an homage to Sweden, and then we stuck with the traditional sky blue, and we went with PostNord, who is a Swedish postal company, and our sleeve sponsor is a Swedish bakery. Who doesn't love a Swedish bakery? So, without further ado, let's get into transfers, because we did actually manage to do a fair chunk of business. Now, we spent something like 17.5 mil and sold 5 mil of players, but before the start of this official season, we sold Pinamonte, Glenn Bilge, and was that it actually? That was it. That was all we saw. Pinamonte went to Club America for 2.7 million, and Astana took Glenn Bilge off our hands. In terms of who we brought in, it was basically just we just confirmed the signing of Marco Kana from Huddersfield for 1.1 mil, and he's been a good little rotation option for us. And then this season, we've made a few free signings, a few like what you might consider big players went. Bermancevic went, Diawara went. He was quite an older goalkeeper, and he was homegrown, but it made sense to sell him while we could get some money for him. And we've also sold Capet, which wasn't a move that we particularly wanted to do, but again, you'll see why we did in a bit. We got decent money for him. It was basically the aim was to try and free up some squad spaces, because we have the homegrown requirements. We signed quite a few non-homegrown players, you see, like young players, but there were a lot of non-homegrown ones. So this guy, Tenel Gusev, he may have come in from Brøndby, a Danish team, but he does not count homegrown for this. He is a left back from Estonia, and he looks really decent, to be fair, considering he's 19. He could definitely be someone who could either be a good level for us once he reaches his potential, or we could potentially sell him for a little bit of profit to maybe a team in like the second Bundesliga or something like that. Marcus Martinez, I can't remember if he was already joining or whether we signed him. But he does count as homegrown because he came in from AIK. Eric Hepner's, unfortunately, he doesn't because he came from Rosenborg. Again, I'm pretty sure he was already a done deal before we joined. Andreas Persson, we signed. He's not got his own face for some. Oh, I know why. It'll be because he's in the fresh batch of intakes, which when we've done the new gen faces, it's not applied to him. Renato Badin was the first big signing we made. 5 million from Zurich. Young Italian midfielder who could definitely be sold for decent money, probably to like a sort of top half team in Italy, potentially, go back to his homeland in a season or two if he continues the start that he's had for us. He was actually the player who got sent off in the semi-final of the cup, but thankfully it didn't matter. Giuseppe Enrico, part of the reason we were quite happy to sell Diawara, 18 years old, Swiss keeper, and he's already better than Diawara was at the age of 34, 35. Like I said, the downside is he doesn't count as homegrown, which Diawara did. It's often quite a nice, safe bet to have a keeper who counts as homegrown because he's always going to play. But we've decided to sacrifice that for the sake of even just this season before we can move on to some of these younger players who are hopefully going to develop. Like this guy, Momcilo Milosev, young Serbian defender. Again, looks really, really decent. And is someone who could definitely be sold for big money in even like a season or two, to hopefully a top flight team around the rest of Europe. Same could be said for Lasse Lassen, really. 22-year-old Danish central attacker midfielder. He's had a lightning start to his time with us. 5 goals, 4 in the league, 1 in the cup. He did get a couple in European qualifying, but 4 goals in the league already from that number 10 role. Fits really well. George Hurst, everyone, he did join us. Not the best, but with Pinamonti going, there was a space for George Hurst. He's got 3 goals in the cup, and he did just score a hat-trick in the league against AIK. What an absolute legend, everyone. George Hurst, I love that guy. He's class. Here we get to some more of our exciting players. Chase Savings, 20-year-old English guy from Shrewsbury. Now, he could probably walk into like a championship team, like a Huddersfield or a Swindon if they were so inclined. And we could probably quite easily get like 10, 11 mil for him. Make the most of that English tax. Or like, bottom half Prem team. And then we'll just chuck a nice, tasty sell-on fee for him. Same with Jadon Candelaria. So he was a bit more of an established player when we signed him. He was 24. Did cost us a fair chunk. But part of the reason for that is because we are selling Civic. He is going to... I can't remember where. It might be someone like Zagreb or someone like that. So there was space at left back for a younger player who's a bit more complete than Gusev. And he made the move to us from Feyenoord, and again, we could probably already sell him to like a top flight team around the continent for maybe like 5 times what we bought him for. Then we just come into some youngsters who we brought in. Jakob Eriksson. These are all Swedish players, young Swedish players who can just help go towards homegrown for the bench, basically, and it just helps us blood them in, really, and helps their development and hopefully therefore helps improve their value. So some of them aren't really anything particularly special. They might be squad players at best, but they're young and they literally just help tick a box in that regard. This guy was just a free signing who we got from a team in America, I think in San Jose in America. And he's got some decent base attributes for the role that he could potentially play. So the hope is that he cost us nothing and we could maybe just sell him for a little bit of profit in 2 seasons if we could develop him well enough. I think I've waffled on for long enough on sales and incomings. So let's go to the first game of today's episode, I think. And this is the team we're going with, and you'll notice that some of the subs aren't fully fit, but I really have no other choice but to put them in because I can't put anyone else in. Like Milosev, Kana, Shavings or Gusev are sitting out for today. And then what we'll do is we'll play the Falkenbergs game and we'll get to see some of them in action. And that's because I now actually only have 3 homegrown players in the lineup, so I need to have at least 6 on the bench. Otherwise, I just can't field a team, like a bench. I have a bench, basically. So this is what we're going with. Parrot up top. And Hurst will play next time against Falkenbergs. Kalon, Lassen, Chilufya, Bedin, Steger, Anderson, Perez, Shoska, Candelaria, and Erico. Just this guy, I can't remember at what stage he joined, but he was a free signing, which had already been arranged before I came, and he is a decent, solid option at left back. So he's going to play today, and Milashev will play next time. So Helsingborg's not won in their last 4 games, 4 draws, whereas we are yet to drop a point. So hopefully we can continue in that vein going forward today. As I said last time out, I think when we came to Malmö, that I was planning on probably spending 2 to 3 seasons here. So this is going to count as season 2, and then we'll do, even though it's like our first full season, and then we'll do next season, unless someone really wants to come forward and approach us with a tasty job. I plan on staying here and just trying to use the opportunity to. That's okay. We've gone behind in the last few games and we've ended up winning quite comfortably, so I'm not actually all that concerned by that. It's concerning that we do keep going behind, but it's not been that uncommon a trend for us so far this season. Yeah, just trying to build up my Champions League reputation, basically. Obviously, we got to the group stages last season, so I'd love to try and do the same again this season and build on that one. That'll be a great time for us to draw level. Thank you, Candelaria. Renato, Candelaria, get the ball into the box. He does so. Not a decent delivery. Steger wins it. Calon, back to Chilufya. Save by the keeper. Well, what we'll do is we'll put the wing-backs on attack. Try and get men a bit further forward. And Jagerdens have just kicked off, which will put them currently ahead of us. Okay, that's fine. That's fine, everyone. No need to panic. I'm going to tell them that they've not been good enough, but there's no need to panic because we are quite comfortable in terms of overall play. It would just be nice to have a goal to show for that. And I imagine once we get the first goal, another one will swiftly follow. Just that does seem to be the way it's been going for us this season in the last couple of games. We go behind and then we roar back. It's like we're like a sleeping bear. And there we go, Troy Parrott makes it 1-1. Probably not in the way we expected. A mistake from the Helsingborg's left back, playing a bit of a hospital pass, which Troy Parrott was more than happy to gobble up. Venanzinho, Troy Parrott is like, no, I'll take it, and he makes no mistake. And we will take that all day, everyone. No, it doesn't matter how they go in, as long as they go in. Yeah, we are like a sleeping bear who teams seem to anger us. Handball, and there's a penalty, everyone. And then, yeah, we tend to just lash out and make short work of our opposition. It's now 2-1. Not even 10 minutes into the second half, we've already turned the game around. Beautiful stuff. Good tackle from Adam Anderson. And I will keep the wing-backs as attacking for now because I want to try and put the game to bed before 60-65 minutes. I want it to be 3-1. Carlon, Troy Parrott. I think he was offside, was he? Well, we won't know. They don't have VAR, so... Come on, everyone. Want the game to bed. I don't think I've got anyone I can bring on for Anderson. Anderson, whatever his name is. Looks like it's going to stay at 2-1, potentially, barring any late miracles. Actually, I think I do. Can I bring on Utara? I can bring on Utara. Utara will come on. Looks like it's going to be 2-1. It is. It's 2-1, everyone. We'll take it. We'll take it. And it's on to the Falkenbergs game. And Jagerdens maintain their 100% start to the season with a 92nd minute penalty against Mjällby. Lucky. Meanwhile, yeah, we're playing Falkenbergs. Cougar Thunder Falkenbergs, who are currently 9th. So hopefully, we'll get a win there. So everyone, it's time for the Falkenbergs game, and Jagerdens have blinked first, and they just lost against, Bromma Payakana. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. A newly promoted team anyway, I'm pretty sure. They lost 1-0 away, which is lovely stuff. So we go into the Falkenbergs game with the chance to put ourselves 3 points clear. Now, as I said, we will get to see some of our other players. So we're going to bring in Chase Savings for Lasse Lassen. Candelari will stay out and Gusev will play. George Hurst, he will get the nod. Might as well, mightn't we? Even though Troy Parrott did score last time out. Milashev will play. Who else is going to play? Kana or Stosic? Kana or Stosic? I think we go Stosic. I'm sorry, Kana, but I think we go with Stosic. He is the better player. And who else did I say we were going to see? Was that it? Cameron Congreve is a decent player, to be fair. He could play over Chilufya. Instead, he's going to play over Calon. I'm pretty sure he's left-footed, Congreve. Yeah, he's left-footed. Not ideal, but he can definitely play there quite comfortably. With Murfelt off the bench. I think that's quite reasonable. Iago Lopez, unfortunately, great right back. There's just no space for him in the team because of homegrown stuff at the moment. Sorry, champ, but Adam Anderson stays in because he's class. Elsewhere in the world, the championship has just finished, and Huddersfield and Swindon stayed up. Both of them stayed up. Meanwhile, Crystal Palace, of all teams, got relegated. But, so they have stayed up, which is really, really nice to see. We obviously laid good foundations there, everyone. Good foundations at Huddersfield and at Swindon. Obviously, we don't want them to get second season syndrome, but I would hope that they could build on that and stay up. I think they both came about like 18th and 19th, respectively. But you know what? That's still good going, especially for Swindon. I think one of them might have been Swindon had to change managers partway through because Paul Cook, who was the manager who took over after us at Swindon, got poached. He got offered the job somewhere else and went. Good save by Erico. Time to demand a little bit more in front of our home fans today here against Cougar Thunder and Falkenberg. Nice. Come on, Savings. Milashev. Booked, man. How are you booked? Renato Beden. Lovely pass. Tanel Gusev. George Hurst. Stosic. Oh. The keeper didn't even move. The keeper didn't even move. Insipid. Insipid first half. You watch George Hurst. George Hurst will do the biz. I have faith. And if he doesn't, then Troy Parrott is waiting in the wings. Adam Anderson, the great shot. Great shot. We know how good he is at free kicks after that goal he scored against Midtjylland. And he whips in the corner. Milashev with the near post flick on, but no luck. Comes back out to Beden. No, okay. Baden. Chilufya not having a great game, so Robert Carlson can come on for you. Savings also not doing great. Murfelt will come on for you. And I'm sorry, George. I'm sorry. But we're going to turn to Troy. See if he can breach the walls. Breach the walls. It's actually nearly Urutara who does after the Murfelt corner. But come on. going to be a Fergie time moment. Stosic, back to Anderson. Congreve. The shot goes over. Oh, this was a chance, real chance with Jigurden's dropping points. Are we finally going to drop points this season? We're going to drop points this season, everyone. Look at that. 2 shots from Falkenbergs to our 19. Garbage. Even though it's a draw, what that does mean is that we've not lost a league game here in our time at Malmö. That's 30 matches in a row without losing. This 1-1 game here against IK Sirius was our first game. So, yeah. Can't complain too much. Keeps us top of the table, admittedly only by a point. But still, we are still top. Obviously, the minimum expectation from the board is to win the league. And we are on course to do that. We've reached the final of the Cup, which is good. Obviously, win, that'll help even more. Champions League, they're already happy because we have... we already enter at the 3rd round. So they're really happy with oh, actually, no, because that still counts as last season. No, sorry, that still counts as last season because even though it's a new season for us, the Champions League season still hasn't finished. Yeah, one thing I forgot is that our contract actually expires at the end of the 2030 season. So depending on what's happening, if we're still here then, we might just leave. Do what we did with Huddersfield and just go and see where we end up. Kind of like we did, like I said, with Huddersfield. Excuse me. If we look at the league table, we will see Swindon came 19th. Huddersfield actually came 16th. They must have won on the last day of the season. If we look at fixtures, let's see, did they win? Who did they beat? They beat Reading 2-1. A 93rd minute goal from Ryan Disley. Swindon got smashed, I think, by Burnley. Burnley, who were eventual champions. In terms of the big performers for Swindon, I think with the lack of George Hurst, I think it felt. Darren Evans, yeah, he got 11 goals. Ricky J. Jones with 12. Charlie McCann with the 8 assists. Festi Ebisele still playing. Still doing the business. A few of their players were really, really good for us, like Louis Reed. Looked like they're going to be on the way out. Ed Hewison had a really good season as well. He was someone we signed. And Nigel Skelton finally starting to make his break into the first team after we signed him from Liverpool. But again, not really anything significant. In terms of Huddersfield, who did they rely on with the lack of goals from George Hurst? Because obviously he was at Huddersfield and we signed him. We nabbed him. They still got Lewis Gibson, I think. They still got Nat Phillips, and yeah, Dean Finity is playing, who we really liked. Watford want him, interesting. He's a good big centre half. Sam Gallagher, that was it. They signed Sam Gallagher because George Hurst wasn't actually getting much game time when we signed him. So we were more than happy to give him some matches. Liam Craven did really well out on loan. He was out on loan at Wimbledon, 22 goals. So I would hope. You know, we saw him at Scunthorpe, and he looked really good. So I'd hope he'll get the games. Oh yeah, Lewis Gibson, he is just injured. So I'd hope he'll come in and they'll give him game time. Because we really liked him, like the look of him. So hopefully he's had a good season and they'll let him play a bit next season. In terms of Bino Gittins did well, but they actually demoted Van Dalven to reserves, which I found really weird. But you know, is what it is. Is what it is. Yeah, everyone, I'll see you logically for the cup final in a few games' time. See if we can add another trophy to our career. And then it'll be Champions League time imminently after that. Take care, everyone. I hope you've enjoyed the episode.